Good afternoon. Welcome to CoreTV News on the hour. My name is Omotayo Alo. CAN has returned to the House of Representatives after nearly 2 hours of rowdiness caused by the unresolved issues from the margins of the Speaker and his deputy. Members of the House struggled for the maze while it all lasted, with the House instrument of authority later taken to the Speaker's inner office. After it all, having called for a reversion of the House to plenary, Speaker Yakubu Dogara admonished his colleagues to work towards improving the welfare of the people through good legislation and unity of purpose.
Well, it appears there is some sanity now, and the Speaker Yakubu Dogara, Speaker of the 8th House of Representatives, appears to have now.
An update of the rowdy session in the House of Representatives and what transpired in the Senate today. We are now being joined by our correspondent, Basi Aye, who was there. Of course, she's here live to give us a feel of what really led to the rowdy session at the House of Representatives. Hello, Basi. Can you hear me? Good morning. Or rather, good afternoon.
I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Please, could you give us a general update on what led to the rowdiness in the House today?
The rowdy session was actually one that took everyone by surprise because the speaker had just come in at about 10 minutes past 11 and called the House to order. And he then called for a motion that would dissolve the House into an executive session. And that was when all hell broke loose. That was when some section of the House started calling for a point of order to, of course, stall the bid to dissolve the House into an executive session. And from there on, it was all downhill from there.
Well, we actually, Basi, we saw that the mace, that is the symbol of authority, was going to be taken at some point. What group was trying to pull that out in the House of Representatives?
At that point, it's not very easy to make out who was actually doing what. But there was a large crowd gathered around the maze trying to hijack it, even as the sergeants and arms went about their duty protecting the maze. And there were also chants of APC, Dogara, Shame, and all sorts of chants going on in the House. And from all the indications, the House was divided into two groups, the opposition and the ruling party.
All right.
And,
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the situation lasted for almost 2 hours when the maze was finally smuggled out into safety. And even after the maze was not smuggled out into safety, the members that were trying to, of course, hijack the maze went about pulling the stand that would hold the maze in place when it finally comes back. But at the end of the day, calm was restored. The House was dissolved back into plenary, and the Speaker, after a short speech, was able to adjourn till July 21.
All right, Basi, what particularly triggered the calm in the House? Because what we saw, it was a lot of people were quite angry. And so what statement, who said what to actually restore calm in the House,
From
like we saw?
all indications, nothing was said today that brought about this situation. So we can deduce that actually a fallout of the ongoing leadership tussle of who gets which position and who doesn't get what. And I think the members of the ruling party, the APC, were actually trying to stop a situation they felt that dissolving into an executive session was the Speaker playing into the hands of the opposition, which is the PDP. That is what played out this morning and all through the early afternoon.
All right, we saw that the Speaker of the House of Representatives said that the plenary has been postponed to July 21st. Did you by any chance speak with any of the representatives, maybe what they feel after the whole session ended? Of course, seeing that peace has finally been restored.
As I speak with you, both factions, if I could call them that, both groups are holding separate press briefings their views on what transpired today. I'm sure we would have more on that once they are done with telling the press how they feel about the decision of this morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Basi. We look forward to getting more update from you from your post of duty. Thank you once again. Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari on Tuesday said that his administration has received firm assurances of cooperation from the United States and other countries on the recovery and repatriation of funds stolen from Nigeria. Speaking at an audience with members of the Northern Traditional Rulers Council led by the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, and President Buhari said that it was now up to Nigeria to provide the international community with the facts and figures needed to drive the recovery effort. He emphasized that the next 3 months of his administration will be busy getting those facts and figures to help recover stolen funds taken to foreign countries, citing the report submitted by the Ahmed Joda-led Transition Committee. President Buhari said that several revenue-generating institutions in the country have been promised, leading to a weak economy. And insecurity, the president said that the traditional rulers could play a key role in stemming the terrorism and insurgency in Nigeria by assisting the government with cost-effective intelligence gathering. The Senate has rejected attempts to bring up issues relating to the internal crisis in the Senate caucus of the All Progressive Congress at plenary. It also turned down allegations that the Senate rule books were amended to pave way for the election of Ike Ekweremadu as Deputy Senate President. The first effort was made by Senator Gbenga Ashafa, who accused Senate President Bukola Saraki of withholding a letter from the party on a decision on the sharing of principal officers, while the order was by Senator Kabiru Marafa.
And the people can only do that if they are properly elected.
The internal crisis rocking the APC caucus of the Senate is not about to end anytime soon. This was obvious on Wednesday's plenary, where senators who were still aggrieved by Bukola Saraki's emergence as Senate President attempted to raise issues on the intra-party crisis. Senator Ashafa insists that his privileges were breached by Saraki's failure to read a letter by the party leaders directing the members of the sharing of party position. Some senators, however, see the matter differently.
Again, 31-4. There shall be a deputy majority whip of the Senate. It shall be a senator nominated from the party with the highest number of seats in the Senate. Mr. President, by virtue of the privilege of being one of the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and coming from our party, I believe, and strongly so, that that letter should have been read to the hearing of all senators here present. Perhaps that will be the solution to the leadership also in the Senate.
There shall be a majority leader of the Senate. The majority leader shall be a senator nominated from, not by. What this seeks to do, Mr. President, is to debar the internally displaced side from nominating the majority leader, and then to confer it on the All Progressive Congress, which incidentally happened to have the highest number in the Senate.
I'm going by what has been stated. I think I will just note what Senator Ashafa has said, and I think we'll leave the matter as that. I would, and in that case, rule that point out of order.
The other issue relates to allegations of behind-the-scene amendment of the Senate rule book to pave way for election of Senate presidents by secret ballot rather than the open voting system. The claims were made by Senator Marafa and were meant to rubbish Ekweremadu's election as Deputy Senate President.
Mr. President, if we are going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011, as amended, which is the genuine and authentic, because it has never, I need protection. Will you shut up?
Address the chair. Order.
Mr. President, like I said, the events as we witnessed on the 9th of June 2011, especially as it regards the election of the Deputy Senate President, were null and void because they were not in consonance with the provisions of the standing orders of this Senate, Your Excellency. And if you say we are going to use the Senate standing orders of 2015, then we need explanation as to who and why changed our Senate rules without recourse to Order 110. I so submit, Mr. President.
So the implication therefore is that the rule he was referring to ended with the Senate on the 6th day of June. So that is why that's why we had Senate Rule of 1999, 2003, 2007, and 2011, now 2015. So that is the situation. So if he's seeking to amend any Senate rule, he can only amend the existing one, which is the one for 2015. So at the end of between now and 2019, this particular rule will govern us and can be amended in the manner he has suggested. But after 2019, we are going to have another Senate rule of 2019. That has been the process and procedure since 1999. And that has guided and is based on the provisions of the Constitution.
The Senate President had the final say on both issues and ruled against the position canvassed by the two senators.
There's only one rule book before us, that is Senate Standing Order 2015 as amended. The second issue you raised, which I think even in your own address you mentioned about 9th of June, where by virtue of our actions, I will refer you again to section 53, subsection 6, which says that it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question of which the Senate has come to a conclusion during the current session. And bringing that matter again goes in contrary to our Rule 53.6. So I think on this note of that, I will have to rule you out of order on that matter.
For now, the Senate President and his loyalists in the APC are consolidating and are bent on ensuring that the party's principal leaders are selected through an internal process by senators, not party leaders, in line with the Senate rule books.
As the uncertainty surrounding leadership positions in the 8th National Assembly continues, more groups have expressed their displeasure with the stance of the All Progressives Congress. Addressing journalists at separate press conferences, the APC caucus from the southeast and north central zones in the lower chamber of the view that no group deserves to be ignored in the selection process. They maintain that such acts of injustice will be challenged through every available legal means.
The party is not. The party does not. It's not as if the party is there, and that all of us were the basis of the party. When you have a party, you have a constitution. When you have a party, you have membership, and that this is an institution. We have our parliamentary practices, we have our precedents, we have our laws, we have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that the Constitution supersedes any other law and any other consideration on earth in Nigeria, and that's what we're seeking to pursue. We're saying that as a people, we are being excluded, and we cannot accept it.
Whether it is true or false, nothing is zoned to the southeast. And we believe that in the spirit of national character, in the spirit of good connection to the rest of Nigeria, in the spirit of making us belong, in the spirit of ensuring that equity and justice is played, that there is no way the leadership of the party, the leadership of the National Assembly, or the leadership of the party will distribute positions of leadership of National Assembly without giving recourse to the Southeast and what it represents.
We take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be back with more stories. Stay tuned, please.
Lapcon have negated, that's a sign of protest, saying that things are not good. Women share the most amazing thoughts.
When it's close to the time, our people will protest
on national issues.
That was their own point. That was an accident. That is different.
And they do it.
Politics is about being a servant.
Passionately.
Without a woman, there will be no success at all.
Sharing the adorable word of women.
There are some women who have what it takes.
In politics.
Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady. When she's too soft, she's too soft.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome, you're still watching CoreTV News on the hour, and for more news and information, do well to visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News. And you could tweet at our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could also get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV News. The Senate is resolved to summon the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission on the state of the nation's refineries. This followed a motion by Senator Gbenga Ashafa on the recent spate of fuel tanker tragedies in Lagos State and other parts of the country. Senators argue that if all the refineries were functional, there would be no need for tankers to always come to Lagos to lift fuel. They also want the Buhari administration to continue with the process of revamping the rail system to ease off the pressure on Nigerian roads.
Car explosions on our highways, which is getting curious by the day, and once again raising the questions about what has become of the rail line projects of past administrations as an alternative route to Nigerian highways. Note further that as Nigerians were still lamenting the tragedy of Yano Ipaja, another occurred at Idimo in Alimosho local government area of Lagos. The incident destroyed property worth millions of naira, and no fewer than 34 buildings, 70 shops, 1 tricycle, 1 truck, and other properties were consumed by the fire ignited by the falling petrol-laden tanker.
Mr. President, distinguished colleague, I quite agree with the last speaker that says that these menace caused by these fuel tanker drivers needs to be addressed urgently. Mr. President, you will quite agree with me that as we speak, the Apapa area of Lagos is under siege.
Are under its legal responsibilities so that we can determine where things are and what we need to do to make sure that petrol is supplied to all parts of Nigeria without these dangers that we perennially pose to our people.
Federal lawmakers have resolved to investigate alleged malpractice by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) on the refined exchange agreement, the swap contract. This follows a motion raised by Michael Eyong, APC Akwa Ibom, who noted that the drop in the country's revenue is due to the leakages in accounting system and management. He therefore submitted that the investigation is to ensure that revenue from the nation's extractive industries are managed transparently in line with international best practices. CIA reports.
Honorable colleagues,
the motion on the urgent need for forensic investigation of the swap contracts between Pipelines and Product Marketing Companies (PPMC) and 9 oil trading companies is one that was nearly scuttled on arrival. This is because several lawmakers were of the view that legislative procedure was not properly adhered to before presentation. One of such was immediate past Deputy Leader of the House, Leo Ogo, who argued that prior notice should have been given to members.
I've been to this floor and I've been coming to this floor since we started the whole section. This is a new motion that has been introduced, which probably did not come as a matter of urgent importance. It therefore means that it came as a notice. I am very, very worried that I did not see this motion on the notice paper. And I think it is important that when we get motions like this, we should be able to look at them and discuss them in line with the House rules. I agree with the spirit of the motion, but here there is a major procedural error. I believe the modality and the methodology in which the motion is introduced did not follow due process. And I think for such a motion to come in line with our House rule, it should be put on notice so that we can look at the subject matter, then discuss it extensively. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues are so upset.
But the former minority leader, Femi Gbajabiamila, was quick to counter him before the Speaker ruled on the issue.
Yes, the issue is clear that no notice has been given. I will ask either the mover of the motion or if the Speaker grants me permission that we again suspend our rules for the requirement of notice in this particular motion. We have nothing to hide. This is a transparent House. The issues are very cogent. The issues are very important. And I believe that this matter should be tabled and debated today.
My ruling is this. We should bear in mind that it was only yesterday that we constituted the ad hoc committee on rules and business. And so we have to look at the issues of procedure and substantive justice. And I want to direct the ad hoc committee on rules and business to take notice of the fact that henceforth notices of motions should be issued in line with the tradition of the House. But I'm constrained to say that the point of order raised by my leader is well noted, but the motion should go ahead. Thank you. That is my ruling.
Finally, the motion was presented to the House with revenue figures lost due to discrepancy in value of crude and refined products delivered, placed at $8 billion.
But we're also further aware that 1 barrel of crude oil is equivalent to 159 liters. And if these companies are given 445,000 liters, if you 445,000 barrels per day, and if you multiply that by 159, you will have a whopping 70,755,000 liters per day. Whereas Nigeria, we're using only 40 million liters daily. It's a concern that Nigeria, at the moment, is, the economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is so essentially tied to a model commodity, crude oil, and also concerned that the revenue of Nigeria has recently plummeted due to leakages in revenue and what I can also call mismanagement of the economy.
After several arguments for and against the motion, the House decided to grant the prayer. To this end, lawmakers expect that the motion will from here on get the required support in keeping with anti-corruption stance of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Basia Yu, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And from outside Nigeria, 2 new cases of Ebola virus disease has been confirmed in Freetown, Sierra Leone, dashing hopes that the capital city is free of the deadly virus. A spokesman for the National Ebola Response Center, CD Tunis, said there were concerns about further infections since the 2 cases were reported in Magazine, a densely populated slum in the capital city. Health officials said the first case in Freetown since May 29 was a fisherman who caught the hemorrhagic fever from his girlfriend in the North District of Porto Loco. Shortly afterwards, a family member who lived in the same household also caught the virus. The other 6 cases recorded in Sierra Leone over the past week were in the northern province of Porto Loco and Cambia, Health Ministry data showed. The worst known Ebola epidemic in history has killed more than 11,000 people in West Africa, about a third of them in Sierra Leone. Liberia became Ebola-free in May, but its neighbors Sierra Leone and Guinea are still struggling to get to 0 cases, despite hundreds of millions of dollars in the aid. It's a wrap on CoreTV News at this hour. Thanks for watching. My name remains Omotayo Alo.